Hey guys, I didn't see you there. Oh, welcome to Andy's cooking show. Today I'm making a madras curry. So what we've got here is we've got our carrots, tomatoes, mango chutney, coconut milk, and 2 large onions, organic extra virgin olive oil, and 3 large tomatoes. Now we're doing this curry from scratch, and we're also going to be teaching you how to make a poppadom kind of entree with some tomatoes and balsamic vinegar mixed in there as well. So that's all to come later on, guys. So keep yourself strapped in. Big pot over here, and yeah. So next, we've got 2 large onions and we've chopped them up. Next, what we're going to do is I like to prepare all my foods before we stick it in the pot. This is going to be a process, but it's a simple way to make a good madras. I really should have read the instructions before I started. Oh, welcome. So what I'm actually preparing initially is going to be the entree. So we're going to chop the 3 tomatoes next. Now we've got our pile of onions, but we're actually not going to use them all for the actual entree dish. We're going to kind of weigh it up, see what we should use. So next, chop all the tomatoes. Just like nice sized pieces.
No.
Now, chopping tomatoes is one of those things. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Guys, so what we're doing here is we're just putting the tomatoes into a bowl, decent size, and we're going to put the onions in. Now, I cut the onions all in one pile. You could have just used one and used that for this, because that's approximately what we're going to be putting into this bowl. So we'll start by grabbing, I'd say, that much of it for now. We'll see how it mixes. Now what we're doing, the reason we're doing the entree first is we're going to pour quite a bit of balsamic vinegar into here and let it soak in.
Did you read the instructions?
Shut up! Always important to wash your hands is paramount in this job.
Are you sure you're supposed to be doing
Shut up,
that?
seriously. So what we're going to do is put quite a bit of balsamic in here, but we're going to be careful at the same time. So, I've already given it the shape. Just literally, come over here, eh?
That's so funny. Balsamic.
Quite like a healthy amount is what we're after. It really adds that flavour and texture that we're after. So what we're going to do now, put this to the side, bit of cling wrap in the fridge. While you're cooking, that'll soak in over there. Stir occasionally. Welcome back. So, hot tip. So we're going to put, I've got about 3 cloves of garlic I'm going to put in the onion, just because we're going to start boiling that, frying that up soon in our dish.
Sorry, my hand.
Getting that nice and soft for 6 to 8 minutes. Now, hot tip, if you haven't got one of these, bloody get one. Lazy garlic is quite a popular thing at the moment.
Okay, we'll let him finish, because obviously this is very important.
Lazy garlic is quite popular at the moment. Personally, I like real garlic, it's fresher. So, here's how it works. Pop it in.
Keep going. You've been prepping this curry for like an hour.
Can you seriously... I'm just putting 3 teaspoons roughly of, I like the organic extra virgin olive oil. One of my favourites. What we're going to do actually is heat that up for a few minutes. Swap over and then throw in the onion, the garlic, into the pan. Get that nice and hot, soft, 6 to 8 minutes. Again, 5 to 8 minutes of heat. 5 to 8 minutes of heat. What we're going to do is 3 of these. Now, now I've got a few guests tonight. Actually, while we're on the topic of guests, yes, they're kind of big deals. One's a speech therapist and one's a rowing coach. So it's always important when you're cooking to ask your guests what kind of heat they like in their meals. These guys like it the hot and spicy like myself, which means lots of hot chili. Here we go here. Hot chili. Now, one ground cumin. Okay, whoop, whoop, whoop. And then just one of these I think we're going to do today. Not feeling too exuberant. One of them. Quite important not to forget this. One of my apprentices once told me, "Hey Andy, the turmeric doesn't make much of a difference." And I was like, "Mate, it does. Get the fucking turmeric." So we've got our accurately measured spices in here. Okay, now we're going to throw in the paste. We're going to put most of it in here like that. Now I'm a bit dubious, I haven't used this paste before. So, you know, I don't want to ruin the meal by being too hot. So what I'm going to do is majority of it. We're going to use majority of it in there. Now this is actually one of my favourite hot madras curry paste, even though I've never used it before. So let's keep cooking. After this, we're just going to give this a quick stir. I reckon 5 minutes or so. Just give that a stir. Get the onions nice and mixed with all those spices and herbs. And then we're going to throw in the meat. Okay, now about 1 kilo of meat I'm using, cubed prime meat. I went to the butcher for it. It is probably the best meat. And we're going to throw that in and cook it until it's brown.
Hello.
Welcome back. So at the moment I've just put a bit of water in there. Just to get it going, and we're going to throw a little bit of ginger.
Andy.
Right now we're just going to add it's about 950 grams of diced prime meat from the butchers. We're going to add that in there. Now a couple of tips, it's important when you're cleaning to cook on the way. Luckily because of my stature I've got an apprentice cleaning up after me as we go. But for yourselves at home, keep cleaning while you're going, it's very important. So we've had this on for 10 minutes or so. The onions and whatnot all cooking and then get the crisp. And what we're going to do is get this mince in actually and stir it around. So what we're doing now is we're just cutting the carrots. So I've got 3 large carrots, diced them about yay thick, give or take a few, because it gets quite tough cutting carrots, as we all know, as we all love cooking. There we go like that. A couple more little chops, and yeah, we'll throw that in. So over here, we've got this simmering over in the corner. I've got this on a very low heat. Very low heat, and I'm just going to do this for 20 minutes or so just to get that. I've added a bit of water so it didn't stick. The meat's just browning. As I said, simmering at a low heat. Bit of red coming out of that meat, beautiful. And then we're going to throw the carrots in. Oh, perfect timing. What we're going to do next is throw in the carrots and the coconut milk. So this has been on a medium heat, 20 minutes. Oh, just cleaning up after the apprentices. Actually, before you got here. It's always, I don't know if you guys got kids, family, wives, make sure you get them cleaning. Teaspoon of that in there. Couple of things as well, guys, when you're cooking, enjoy yourself. Don't forget you're here in the kitchen to have a bit of fun. So I'll throw that in, and one thing, quick tip, if you want to lose a bit of water, take the lid off. If you want, check the consistency, so if it's getting a bit watery, take the lid off. But for me, I think I've probably on the watery side of anything. So we're going to give that a stir and then throw the lid on. Now we're going to leave this in for 40 to 50 minutes. You can smell it. Might just So what we're going to do is just check on the progress in the 40-minute cycle. So it is quite watery, as we can see here. So what I'm going to actually do is turn the heat up. Give it a good stir while we're in here. Yep, we're going to turn the heat up, 1 dial, take the lid off and let the water evaporate. Alright, so turn the heat down. We've done our 40 minutes, we've not let it boil, a little bit, but not too much. And what we're going to do now is, this is actually a secret tip of mine. So I'm going to get a nice cold plate because I don't want to defrost the fridge. And this is the tricky part. We're going to pour it in. Oh gosh. Oh, that's hot. Now the reason I've done that is because this is cold. It's heated up pretty quickly, but we're going to throw it in the fridge and leave it in there for an hour. Get that nice and chilled. Because it's important to chill it. What it does is, you know when you have a spaghetti bolognese or something, the next day you eat it, it tastes better? Well, this time, we're going to do it the same day. Now it is night time. But gee, she's cold. Alright, what we're going to do is whack this back on here. Into our old pot, just to get all those flavours back out that we're all chasing, us cookers. And medium low heat. For 40 minutes. As simple as that. Alright guys, so we've got this bubbling along. You know, probably about 20 more minutes left. What we're going to do now, we've been stirring this occasionally every hour. We're going to get this out. Pour it into our bowl to serve for our guests. Like that, that's all been stirred. Now, poppadoms. Now, we do usually cook them, but it's been a bit of a busy night. To garnish for our guests. Welcome back. So surprisingly, it's good timing. I've just poured the rice, got the rice cooked over here. What we'll do is we'll dish that up. We'll just show you how we dish it here in here. So that's like so. And this has been a few taste testers and it's brilliant. So here we go. It's all about how you serve it. As a friend of mine once said, which is actually, his name was Jamie Oliver, he's a mate of mine, he once said, it's all about the serving, Andy. It's all about the serving. Well guys, that's it for today's chapter. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next week, episode 2. And we're thinking spaghetti bolognese, simple, easy and great. Talk to you soon.